Hey YouTube, this is Nashtaters. Welcome back to another episode of War of the Visions. I sound a little nasally because I just woke up. My fiance has been working pretty hard lately. She's working like night shifts the last 3 days. So I figure I stay up with her and welcome her home every morning. And yeah, same thing last night. I went to bed pretty late this morning actually. I just woke up. But few things I want to talk about in today's video. Now the big one is going to be the fact that they officially released the date for Warrior of Light, my personal most anticipated unit. They put in recently Final Fantasy 1 Hype Pack. Now I don't really understand why they're setting this up so early, because the unit's not due on July 29th, which is roughly a little bit less than 2 weeks from now. Let's take a look at these packs. Even though I'm a free-to-play player, etc., I think looking at it just to kind of see what the company is trying to present to us, right? First pack is going to be $23.99, 1,500 paid gems with some stuff for the Warrior of Light in terms of raising him if you get him. And then of course a daily pack, which is going on now, which I don't, like I said, I don't understand what the strategy is. We're releasing these packs so early, but at least they officially is announcing that Warrior of Light is coming. Here's the thing. In my last video yesterday, the Friday free thinking, I talked about this thing here. This pack, which is pretty game-changing for pay-to-win players, because this will further increase the gap between free-to-play players and pay-to-win players, right? At least in the time being, because as I said before, by the time you hit maybe like 6 months to 1 year of game release, and people have been playing since release, the gap between pay-to-win and free-to-play is almost non-existent. For the reason being, everyone's going to have lots of units built, lots of units maxed, lots of equipment maxed, etc. And the competitiveness will really be heightened, especially in arena, PvP, because everyone's going to have lots of solid units that can take to compete with. But in the time being, it's only been, what, almost 4 months? So this gap is huge. And I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say 100% sure that the Warrior of Light campaign is gonna have the Light Full Awakening pack for 5,000 paid gems, because there's no reason not to. But anywho, today I'm really gonna want to map out the game plan for the rest of July and maybe into August for free-to-play players. Let's get into it. Okay, as a free-to-play player, we have to be more vigilant in terms of planning, in terms of saving, in terms of micromanaging. We don't have the luxury of just dropping, hundreds of dollars and just get whatever it is that we want. So for the rest of July, I think we need to plan it out. Now, here's the thing. I didn't actually plan to make this type of video because I really honestly didn't think Warrior of Light was coming in July. I really thought he would be pushed back into early August. But since he is being announced, I think it's important that we start planning. If you haven't checked out my videos about Warrior of Light, please do so. There it is, right corner, click on that. It's gonna go and take you to my review video of Warrior of Light and why I think he is the unit to go after. I always want to say that every unit in this game is good for something. Every unit can fulfill a role on your roster, and there's never really a bad unit. But, this is the but now, I feel like Warrior of Light is that unit that can do wonders for you almost in every aspect in the game. You can put him in arena team, he's solid defense, you can take him to all the challenges as your main tank, or maybe even one of two tanks. He's going to be very useful in the tower. And the only thing that specific units will shine the most will be raids. Now here's the thing. Raids, as many of you have already experienced, have a countdown meter, meaning that you only are restricted to a certain number of moves. Therefore, ideally, you want to take attackers because you want to take advantage of that limited time you have access to that specific raid. So you want to use attackers, go with the chain strategy, and just kill the enemy boss as fast as possible, and then gain all those nice rewards. So tanks, support units, perhaps aren't that useful, at least in the time being. Who knows? Maybe they'll release a raid that only tanks or support units will be good. But based on their formula, though, I don't see that coming. So I feel like Warrior of Light is going to be good almost everywhere. And that is one unit perhaps everyone, free to play or pay to win, should be trying to obtain. Now, here is where the guideline comes in terms of mapping out your plan. Now, I hope you have enough gems saved up on July 29th, because that's when he is released. But if you don't, here is the other thing. This was something that perhaps either the company, Square Enix, and Gumi planned out, or it could just be total coincidence. We know for a fact that Warrior of Light is a collaboration unit because it says that on their packs. Final Fantasy I collaborative unit. Now, if history is any indication, all collaboration units are limited time only. However, they do reruns of collaborations, and there's a chance that he might return, perhaps 6 months down the road. We do know that Final Fantasy XIV was coming back with Thancred and Ishtola, and I think they're releasing a new unit with that rerun. So it's not something to really worry about in the sense of trying to rushing to finish him, but I think it's important to try to obtain him, the first copy of him, during that time. Alright. This is what I'm talking about in terms of perhaps it was a coincidence on the company's part. If you don't have a lot of gems saved up, on July 29th to August 7th, we'll be receiving free 10x summons once a day for 10 straight days. This just so happened to be falling on the exact day that Warrior of Light is released. Now, we're not sure if this summoning banner is going to include Warrior of Light, so be mindful of that. However, if it is included, this is your opportunity to try to obtain Warrior of Light without having to spend any gems. Personally though, I would still suggest buying up as many shards as possible, because you want this unit. He is so good that he should be like the #1 priority in terms of you building another tank. Now, what do we do in the meantime? Well, the game plan in my opinion is 1. You should have already perhaps made a decision whether or not you should have summoned for Vinera and company. I already made a video, should you or should you not summon. If you haven't done so, go onto my channel and look up that video. Here's the thing. I personally was going to ignore this completely ignore this banner, because I knew Warrior Light would be coming in maybe 2 weeks, a month. But if you've already blew all your gems, okay, you already blew all your gems on Vinera, start saving now. My honest opinion is don't rush to finish Vinera in the next couple of weeks. Start saving your gems, get that Warrior Light. And if you have not summoned on this banner, good. I think it's a great idea to ignore this banner for the time being, because like I said before, look at this. Feature summon, right? Feature summon Eileen and Fina. Let's take a look at it real quick. Drop rates. Wow, why is this thing so slow today? Alright, Eileen. feature rate 0.8%. So this is what happens when they feature a unit. We all know eventually Vinera is going to come back. Alright? Vinera is going to come back, and she's going to be one of the feature units, and therefore you have another shot at her. That's how it's done. Units that are not exclusive in this game are always going to come back as feature units eventually. So giving you more shots at them. So, save with confidence, summon with confidence. And even though the luck is a big factor in this game in terms of you wanting a specific unit and obtaining that unit, don't let that deter you, because at the end of the day, planning has nothing to do with luck. Luck will always be there to stop you or help you, regardless of your mentality. Always have a positive mentality, but go in there with confidence. You know what I'm saying? But go in there with realistic confidence. Realize that if you don't get Warrior of Light, it's not the end of the world. But if you did, well, congratulations, right? Either way, it's really important to plan. And for me, I'm going to just start saving like crazy. And perhaps even spend extra bucks here and there when the time arrives that I feel like I need to get my Warrior of Light finished. Now for me, I want to finish Warrior of Light. Okay, I really do. I want to get him to at least 89 with maybe 100-ish shards left over in case a rerun comes back to finish him off. But however, if I can finish him off, depending how they do this, depending how they plan in the shop, right? For example, if they did it the way they do with all the units they release, where they give us, 120 here, and then in the mock shop, they'll give us like the shop where you can use the medals to kind of buy more shards of him. That's all I plan to do. I think that's all the time I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you for watching. As always, take care of yourself and your loved ones. Nashtaters out.